what the grantees of the Andrus Family Fund that have worked with this transition framework, what the reason they feel that it's applicable is that transition is that young people who've been in the care, when they move out, they go into transition overload. And the reason is because they are dealing with multiple changes, big changes, and they're laid on top of each other over and over again. I've asked you to talk a little bit to some of the other participants here at New Transitions to sort of make a little bit of a list of what are some of the changes young people are going through, and that's between 17, 18 years old and 21 or 22 after they've been in the care system. What are some of the changes that they've told you about?
Not knowing where to go. Well, not having a place to go.
Yeah.
Right. How often have some of the young people here had to move?
Well, I talked to one of them, and they've been moving ever since and haven't stopped moving.
So they're having to change where they live.
Because they're so used to not being stationary. It's like second nature to move every so often. You know, if you've been moving all your life, then even without you knowing you're doing it, I guess subconsciously you keep moving because that's just what you're used to.
So you're imposing one change after another on yourself by doing that. What are some of the thinking about leaving school? What are the multiple changes there when somebody just graduates?
So many. Well, actually, just the fact of not going to school anymore is a change. Not being around a big group of people every day, you know, and not having that same plan for your day is a big change. And having to get a job and pay for this and buy that and figure out where you live and what school you're going to, it's all a big change.
That's a lot.
Now, what about, you know, young people often complain about the case managers or care workers and so on that deal with in the system. But what happens to those folks when you walk out of the system?
They experience a change too because they're not dealing with you anymore. Right. They have to adjust to a new person, or just not having one at all, which is still a change. Even though it's not a bad change or a positive change, just a change, still a change.
So what the grantees from Andrus have found is that being moved from place to place is a change. Graduating from high school is a change. If you go to community college or college, that's a change. There's housing instability, which means you're moving from place to place, and relationship instability. So what Bridges would say is when you're going through that many changes at the same time, you're going to get into transitions overload because you're dealing with endings, neutral zone, new beginning, from multiple changes all at once. Now, does that sound familiar to you?
Very.
So like if someone was saying, what is transitions overload like? How would you describe it?
Overwhelming. That's the number one.
So much going on. I mean, I know a lot, if not just myself, I know a lot of young people, especially coming out of school, it's like almost a total shutdown for a while. No one wants to do anything right after school because you don't know what's going on. I mean,
you don't know your next moves.
You can't just have something new and just immediately adjust to it. You have to, like you said, transition and go through some changes.